I watch so much Prepper Princess that I always want to be like, what's going on YouTube? But that's kind of her line, so I'm not gonna steal it, but I do love Prepper Princess. She kind of goes back and forth. She was just talking about finances for a long time, but recently she's kind of gone back into prepping a little bit. I'm not into the prepping that much. I'm more into the finance side of things, and some of her videos on like extreme frugality I have been loving. We are trying to significantly cut our budget. I'm considering a no-buy year because we pay for hybrid school. We cut our income, not by as much as I thought we were going to, but now we're also going to pay for neuropediatric chiropractic care for my oldest. And yeah, I still want to keep our savings rate high. And so there's just a lot of small leaks in our budget that I feel like we could tighten up. You can probably hear my 2-year-old yelling, to save more money. And so we're gonna talk about extreme frugality on a budget today. Okay, so you're gonna hear Peppa in the background. There's really not much I can do about it. And I'm holding my phone, so I don't know how shaky this video is gonna be. Anyways, so I'm gonna turn you around in a second, but I'm gonna go over some of the things that we do, including what we do in our kitchen, what we do with our electric bill, what we do with our food, how we've switched up our budgeting a little bit, going over all of the things today to get our overall monthly expenses down so we can keep our savings rate high. I really love Dave. We've actually gone back to using every dollar. I know I said in the last video that we use YNAB, but I actually like budgeting monthly. I just had a whole conversation with my sister about this. I kind of like budgeting monthly, and so I listen to Dave, but I also listen to the Money Guy podcast on YouTube, or you can get it on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. And they always recommend saving 25%. We are doing the baby steps, and for the most part, we follow them. We do have a credit card, but we actually don't use it a whole lot. But we did the $1,000 emergency fund. We paid off all of our debt already. We are on baby step 3, and y'all, I feel like we've been in baby step 3 forever and ever and ever and ever. And so the Money Guys, they recommend a 25% savings rate. And I'm not sure if it's, I haven't been listening to them for very long, so I'm not sure if it's 25% like between saving for your emergency fund, between saving for bigger purchases and investments, or if it's just investments. We want to save 25% of our income regardless of what we're paying for. I can't decide what I want to do with my hair today. And so we're working as much as we can while still, I still homeschool on the days when my girls are in hybrid school. And even when they are in school the 2 days a week, I still have my 2-year-old at home. So we're trying to maximize income, but at a certain point, you really can't maximize income anymore, and you have to start cutting costs. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and turn you around and show you the ways that we are cutting costs. So the first thing we're doing is turning off all lights. I have a really bad habit of leaving the kitchen light on and apparently the pantry door, because I didn't close it for the video, because there's no windows. So we live in an apartment, a 2-bedroom, and this wall actually shares with our neighbor, and then pantry, coat closet, front door. And so because all of the windows are on the opposite side, I tend to leave the lights on, which are these 4 lights and these 3 hang down lights. So I've been leaving the kitchen light off during the day as much as we can. We still get some natural light, but it makes it just feel dark. And so that's number 1. Right over to here is the thermostat. What we've been doing is, I actually talked, oh, it's not gonna focus. I talked to my sister who has her electric bill at like $75 a month. And I'm like, you live in the same square footage that we do, so I feel like that could be attainable. And she lives in the same state that I do. So it's not like we're in radically different climates. So right now what we've been testing out is leaving the thermostat on 74. We are in the middle of August when I'm filming this. leaving it on 74 and then cooling it down before we go to bed. And then when we leave, I don't really feel comfortable raising it past 75, 76 because we still do have our dog. But raising the thermostat a lot more than what we're used to. We were paying about $160 a month and we were leaving it on 70, like 24/7. So it says 72 right now. It is on 74. It's just not that hot today. It is starting to cool down a bit. So even though it's set on 74, it's 72. And something that our thermostat does, which I don't know if all thermostats do, is it tends to cool it a degree below what you actually set it at. Maybe it's because it keeps it from having to kick on so much. I've never noticed it with other ones, but we also lived in the Pacific Northwest for 7 years and we didn't have central AC. So I don't know if that's normal or not. This is our dog's basket. We got these baskets from Target. I would actually like to get a few more. These have been so handy. So we just keep this in our coat closet, which there's another one up there that has winter stuff in it. Obviously it's not focusing, but obviously it's the middle of August, so we really aren't using our winter stuff, but that's where our winter stuff, that's where our kids' winter stuff is at the moment. But this is our dog's basket, and we do almost all of our dog's care at home. She is a golden retriever, so she gets, her paws will grow really long hair in between the pads. I cut that, trim that, whatever. We bathe her ourselves. We live in an apartment complex and they have a dog bathing station that's really nice at the clubhouse. My husband takes her over there, bathes her. It's warm outside, so just taking her on a walk and then having her sit in her kennel, take a nap for 30 minutes. She dries off really nicely, doesn't get everything soaked. And then one thing we did buy, because she was a little crazy trying to give a bath, especially being younger. She's only 16 months, but this, let's see if I can open it. Okay, having a lot of focusing issues today. Anyways, so this suction cups to the shower that they have for dogs at the clubhouse, and then it attaches to her and it just keeps her in place, which is very handy for giving her a bath. If you have a dog that doesn't mind being bathed, then you probably don't need this, but we just bought this off of Amazon, and I think we just typed in like dog bathing tether, and this popped up, and it was worth, I think it was $18. It might have been a little bit cheaper, I'm not sure, but it is so helpful. A one-time purchase, and we're not having to spend $70 a month going to the groomer. Something else that we've invested in for our dog is a reusable cone. We are getting her fixed. We're on a wait list for a local spay-neuter clinic that's actually run by the state. Our vet was going to charge us over $700 to spay her. This spay and neuter clinic that's run by the state has really good reviews. It's in a really nice building, and they are only going to charge us $150. But then also our other golden retriever was notorious for licking hot spots on himself. So we have this just in case, because we don't want to be running out and buying those cheap plastic ones every time we need a cone for something. And then this is just a travel mat for her. She knows how to place. She did go through training. So whenever we need to brush up on training, or if we're outside, or if we just need her to be in a specific place for company, we pull this out and she can lay on it and she knows that this is her place. Again, we bought this on Amazon. We don't have it out all the time, because if we have it out all the time, she tends to treat it like a toy, and we just don't want her tearing it up. Also, I highly recommend this shampoo. I believe you can get it at Walmart. I think we bought it off of Amazon though. She smelled good for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. This is the best smelling shampoo, and she does not smell like a wet dog when she dries, which was always a big problem for us bathing our own dogs, was I felt like they always just smelled like a wet dog. Like it never really got rid of the stink. but this works really well, and it's a really big bottle, and it's not terribly expensive. So highly recommend this shampoo. Another thing we're doing, this at first was not because we wanted to save money. This was because, one, she did not like the kibble that we had her on. She's been very, very picky about kibble. And two, she's been having some like gastrointestinal issues. And so I try not to rush her to the vet for every little thing. We did that with our Great Pyrenees and our other golden that have both since passed. And it just gets really, really expensive. So we have started making her own food at home, and she is thriving, and it's not that expensive. I know I opened this video with like the Prepper Princess, like, what's up guys? Or what's up YouTube? I actually watched her video on how to make your own dog food. And if I remember, I'll link it below. And it's been great. We still have a little bit of kibble left. So once her GI issues subside, we might have her finish off the rest of the kibble. But I think from here on out, we're gonna make her own dog food just to save more money. We're essentially taking her monthly expenses from like $150 essentially to zero, because we're just gonna add in a few extra things each month on our grocery bill. We can get, you know, chicken thighs for $1.50 a pound. You can get rice for less than $1 a pound, potatoes, carrots. You can get all of these things for, you know, pretty cheap. It might add like 20 bucks to our grocery bill, 30 bucks. And we already have some stuff too. So we're trying to get her care like down to zero. Now, we will still pay for vet visits if she needs to go, and we will still pay for whatever shots she needs in order to be able to be boarded, because occasionally she does have to be boarded at a local kennel. But other than that, we are cutting quite a significant part of our budget by just doing most of the things for our dog at home. The only thing we have to figure out is how to trim her nails. But once we figure that out, other than vet visits, which aren't very often, we essentially have no costs for her because we will just buy her food with our grocery budget. My next tip is actually under our sink, and it is something that I learned from, you guessed it, Prepper Princess. I really love her channel. I have a lot of other YouTube channels that I really enjoy, but this is just where I get most of my ideas from. About a year ago, we went to Costco and we bought, I loved Mrs. Meyer's back then, and I bought a 3-pack of cleaners. And these are pretty big. They're 24 ounces, so they're bigger than like the little ones you would get at Target. I don't remember how much we paid for them. I've used one bottle in a year, and this is the second one, and you can see how much we've used of it. And what I do is I use it, add water, use it, add water, use it, add water. And I could probably even fill this up more. I just haven't. But I will use it and fill it up with water until it's basically all water, which takes quite a long time. Again, the other one I used for a year, and I didn't even consistently like fill it up that much. And then the other thing that I've started doing is we've been buying really cheap dish soap. Again, I was a dish soap snob, but this was like $2, and I filled up, I'm gonna have to show you my dirty sink, I'm sorry. I filled this up, which was an old dish soap bottle, and then I took what was left and put some water in it. Now, I didn't fill it all the way up because I don't want it to just be water. Like, you don't want your dish soap liquid to be like super, super runny, or at least I don't. So I filled it up with a little bit of water. I just did it like right before I started filming this video. And so just to save a little bit. And then we do buy dishwasher pods, and where we live, we have very hard water. And so the cheap dishwasher pods we cannot get away with because our glasses and cooking utensils, they just get really gross from the hard water. So we do buy the Cascade, but I do try and hand wash what I can during the day, and we try to only run our dishwasher once a day. It's not great, but it is what it is. I don't show this room very often, but it is our laundry room. So that is our washer, that is our dryer. We have some dryer sheets, which I don't use dryer sheets all of the time. I will use them very, very rarely. And even then I will usually cut them in halves or in thirds. We bought a 2-pack of, I think it was Bounty or Gain, probably 2.5 years ago. And we still have half of a package. I don't use dryer sheets that much. And again, when I do, I use probably a third of the sheet. We don't have really bad static. And I don't need to smell a certain way. As long as my clothes are clean and I wear deodorant, I smell like a normal human being. So anyways, this is a hand vacuum. We live next to a field and we get little bugs that come in our front door every time we open our door. We've sprayed, we have some right under the sink that's pet friendly like you've already seen. So we use that for bugs, for the cars, whatever we need it for. It's been a really great little vacuum though. Those are trash bags. This is stain remover, and this is laundry detergent from Costco that we have had for over a year. There's a trend. We keep things for a very long time. The laundry detergent I do not water down, but what I do is I use this much laundry detergent. I use very, very, very little laundry detergent. Laundry detergent will build up on your clothes. It will make your clothes, let's see if we can focus. Laundry detergent builds up on your clothes, and it's just a waste to use a lot of detergent. So we cut down on our detergent significantly. Our clothes are clean, they don't wear out as fast, and we save money by being able to stretch this probably 2 years. And no one has ever complained about how we smell. This is our vacuum. I have had a love-hate relationship with vacuums for the last 5 years. I felt like they always broke on me, or they would stop working efficiently. But I was also terrible about cleaning them until I watched a Prepper Princess video. I swear I'm not obsessed with Prepper Princess, where she talks about how she maintains all of the things she has to keep them like new. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, I never clean our vacuum. And then I get mad when they break. And so I have been very adamant about actually taking care of the things that we own. And so probably once every 90 days, I don't do it all of the time, but about once every 90 days, I completely take this apart. It's a Shark cordless vacuum. Oh no, it's not a Shark, it's a Bissell. Our hand vacuum is a Shark. This is a Bissell. I take it completely apart. I clean it, I wash out the filter, let it all air dry, put it back together, and it works like new. And this vacuum, knock on wood, has lasted over 2.5 years with no issues. This is our trash can. We have it because they pick up our trash outside of our front door. No, we do not have an option but to pay for it. It's $40 a month added on to our rent. Ask me how mad it makes me, because I'm like, I can walk my happy butt down to the dumpster and put my own trash in, but they will not let you do that. Because I probably would not have a trash can this size. We are not zero wasters. We are not vegan. However, even as a Christian, I believe in taking care of the environment, which if you're in the Christian sphere, you know that there was a big hubbub about Gavin Ortland, who's a pastor who I really like. His YouTube channel, Truth Unites, made a video on the plausibility of climate change, and so many people went after him, which I think is stupid and ridiculous. That's another video. We are trying to reduce our waste, so we don't always fill this up. But it's a free trash can. It stays with the apartment. There was no reason to go get another one, so it lives here. And the last thing I'll say about laundry is we try to rewear our clothes more than once. Again, unless we're extremely dirty. So if I go run 5 miles, then yes, I'm going to wash the clothes that I'm wearing. But if I've just been wearing my jeans around the house all day, I will wear them for 3 or 4 or 5 days before I wash them. We wash everything on cold. Actually it's set to warm right now, which is ironic. Typically, I don't know how it got to warm, but typically everything is on cold, and I do not set the dryer for all the way at the very maximum amount of time. I actually set it for a lower amount of time and gauge how much more time it needs. Sometimes I will let clothes air dry, but we cannot have a clothesline out on our balcony, and we have tried hanging clothes in our apartment, and I don't know what it is. They take 3, 4, 5 days to dry. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll hang clothes out, let them dry about halfway, and then throw them in the dryer for 20 minutes. That works. But as far as just solely hang drying, we have not found a good way to get them to dry in a decent amount of time. If you have any tips or tricks, you can let me know. The final thing that I do, besides just using what we have, which is a whole nother video, we try and wear out everything that we own. We don't replace things unless they break. And even then, we still try and decipher if we can live without it. If it actually is a need or if we were just used to it. But the last significant change that we've made in our budget was I have been using our SUV to take the girls to and from school, which is about 45 minutes to an hour round trip, there and back, twice in one day, 2 days a week. I've been using our SUV, which is at like 21, 22 miles to the gallon, which is not great. My husband works 7 miles from home, 7, 8 miles. We are switching vehicles. He drives the smaller car, I drive the SUV, but we can all, I say we, me and the 3 girls, we can fit in the small car. We did it all last year because my husband needed the SUV for his job that he left back in May. So what we've been doing, or what we're going to start doing, is I'm going to start using the car again for school, because that car gets 40 miles to the gallon, not 22. And so I can go probably 2, 3, 4, maybe, I doubt 4 weeks, but I could go 2.5 weeks without having to fill anything up. And that includes going to work, going to appointments, going to the school. It includes all of it. I can probably go 2.5 weeks. And any errands that we run, we typically use the little car. So we are hoping to get our gas bill down significantly. We were budgeting about $250. In September, we're gonna try for $150, and we'll see how much we have left over, but $100 a month savings, if we can stick to it, I mean, that's $1,200 a year. That's not small. I mean, that could be a small amount to some people, but every bit counts. I said in the last video that we switched to Mint Mobile, and now I pay $15 a month for my cell phone bill, and my husband's cell phone bill is 20 to 25. I can't remember exactly how much it is. He has a little bit more data. I have 5 gigabytes of data. He has 15. And so our total's 35. So his is $20 a month. And I will leave the link down in the description below for Mint Mobile if you're interested, because it runs off of T-Mobile towers. We have not had any issues with them. I did it all myself. I had to jump on Mint Mobile support because the SIMs, switching from AT&T SIM to a Mint Mobile SIM, it was still trying to connect to the AT&T SIM. So they did help me figure that out, but it was literally 20 minutes of work to save hundreds a year. In perspective, we were paying $90 a month for AT&T for 2 iPhones that were paid off, just unlimited data, all of that, which we never used that much data because, I mean, nowadays you can pretty much be connected to Wi-Fi almost anywhere. We switched to Mint, which again, I have 5 gigabytes of data. We have 7 days left in our billing cycle, and I have 2.5 gigabytes left. So I've only used 2.5 in 23 days. And I'm not even like consciously thinking about it most of the time. And we now pay $35 a month. So we're saving hundreds a year, hundreds. Just in a switch that took me less, the whole switch, signing up for Mint, calling AT&T, having them unlock our phones, having to get on chat and figure out the SIM situation, all of it, and even canceling AT&T, all of it took less than an hour to save hundreds of dollars a year. So it's just something to consider. Also, it's just a referral program. They're not paying me or sponsoring this video. It's just kind of like if you have like YNAB, they have a referral program where if your friend signs up for YNAB, you get like a free month. Again, this is not a sponsored video by Mint. It's just what we've done to save a lot of money on our cell phone bills, because I know people who have like $300 a month cell phone bills. It's ridiculous, and you do not need to be paying that much for your cell phone bill. Anyways, guys, if you found these tips helpful, let me know down in the comments below. If you like this kind of video, let me know, because I'm trying to get a gauge on what the viewers want to see. And again, minimalism, I love minimalism, but I kind of run out of content and things to talk about after a while. And so frugality for like the normal person with a normal income, with a normal, I don't know if 3 kids is normal anymore, but we're a family of 5. We don't own a home. We don't come from money. We have a dog. And we don't make 6 figures. We're just normal everyday people. And I don't have a fancy aesthetic YouTube channel either. I film from my iPhone, and I don't live in an all white, perfectly minimal aesthetic apartment. It just is what it is. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe, helps the algorithm, and I will see you in the next video.